こんにちは。スピーディーポッドキャストのホストのケイです。このポッドキャストは大学生の僕が気ままに話す番組です。で、今回はスペシャルゲストを呼んでいます。スペシャルゲストと対談というか、インタビューしていくんですけど、なんか構成としては、彼のなんかバックグラウンド的なこともあって、基本的に英語で話していこうかなっていうところもあって、で、ちょっと長い話にはなるので、その後日本語の翻訳とかもつけとくんで、安心、リスニングの練習して使ってもらってもいいですし、安心してください。ということで、スペシャルゲストを紹介していきたいと思います。ゲストのトムさんです。どうぞ。
はじめまして、トムです。
So, okay, let's switch to English.
Okay.
So if you could introduce yourself, that'd be great.
All right. So, hi, my name is Tom. I'm currently in college. I go to the same college as Kay.
Mhm.
And what else should I talk about? Well, I like listening to music, working out, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's actually the second episode. It's very weird to have a guest in the second episode. The first episode, if you listen to it, that was just short, just like 5 minutes episode. So it's very weird. But I wanted to have him as a guest, so I invited him. So let's talk about how we got to know each other. Can you talk about it? do you remember it?
Yeah, I do remember on the first day of college, I had a same class with Kay, and I just remember walking into the classroom being nervous and, you know, getting to know everyone, and this Kay happened to be one of them,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just that. But back then, I remember I actually had a gut feeling that I can be like a good friend with him. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the like the first phase of us getting to know each other. Let's move on to the second phase where I kind of like asking you some questions about your backgrounds and your studying abroad and yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So the first question would ask, can you introduce your background? So why do you speak English so well? It's not like it's not very common.
Yeah, so as for my background, I lived in the US for about 3.5 years in elementary school, from second grade till the end of fifth grade. And I also did a year abroad again in college in the US. So I guess that's mostly where my English comes from.
So you went to the US in elementary school because of what?
It was because of my father's job. I think he opened up an office there or something.
Where did you stay?
I lived in Houston.
Houston.
Yep.
So about your college studying abroad, where did you stay?
I lived in LA for a year.
It's pretty nice.
Yep.
So as to your first day in the US, you were very young, and I guess I've never had that experience. But so did you speak English at all? Like when going to the US for the first time?
Well, I did take some English lessons before going, but it was like how to write the alphabet and stuff like that. Like, very simple lessons. So I barely spoke any English at all. I remember the first word I spoke. Well, I brought like a guidebook with me that had like all the necessary, words for school. And I remember talking to this friend Daniel. I wanted to ask him for scissors, so I said, and I didn't have one, so I said no scissor, and that was the very first words I said in English.
So, but you could have had an option that you don't go with him, go with your father.
Mhm.
So why did you end up going with him?
Well, it wasn't very. I didn't really think about it that deeply at the time. So I feel like, or I remember how I made my choice was like my dad told me that you can play video games while on the flight to the U.S. And I was like, well, I'm down. Like, let's go. And, so it wasn't really deep or anything. Yeah.
Did he like mention the English stuff?
I don't really remember, but I'm sure he, at least we had a little chat about it. But yeah.
So your life sort of shifted from Japan to the US. So that was your second grade, the end of
summer of second grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
second grade. So you had like 2 years of your elementary school, and you got your friends. And I remember like my third grade or second grade, I was really enjoying the school because that time the only thing we did was like just hang out with your friends. But going to the US, you have like no connections, no friends at all, and you have to like you just like go back to square one in terms of like friendships. So how did you overcome it?
Oh yeah, that's a pretty difficult question, but I, it was really tough for me to, you have to let go of your friends that you made at the time. But at the same time, I remember being weirdly excited for, what awaits in front of me. I was still young, so I guess I was really open to anything new. So yeah, I remember being pretty excited. Yeah.
So in retrospect, how like did you do well, you think, in the 3 years?
Yeah, I think 3 years of my life, living in the U.S. means a lot to me now as I, reflect back. And, of course, I picked up English, as a second language, which has really opened up new opportunities for me.
For sure.
And yeah, and I made lifelong friends that I still get in touch with. So yeah, I feel like I don't regret going at all.
Okay. So about your studying abroad, that was actually the second time for you going to the US. I mean, you could have just like gone to the different country, like not the US, because you had an experience living in the US for 3 years. How? Why did you? Why did you choose the US?
Well, first of all, I really didn't think about going anywhere else for I don't know whatever reason. I really wanted to go back and wanted to experience the college life there and what it's like to live in the US by myself this time. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much why I chose the US.
Then I remember you wrote what was it, like 留学体験記 留学 you and then where you described why you chose to go study abroad, and then I remember you wrote like you wanted to change it up, like how can you like break it down a little bit?
Yeah, so yeah, like you mentioned, I really wanted to change things up a little bit. You know, college life was pretty boring for me, to be honest. You know, I was just doing my part-time job and then go to college, go to classes, and you know, just have some nomikai, little, you know, here and there, and then just rinse and repeat. And you know, I really wanted to break that cycle and just, you know, kind of step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, I really agree with your opinion. Like, I did feel that way too. So yeah, that was something we have in common. So that was the second time for you going to the US. Like, did you feel any difference in yourself, like about your like English, or like how did you think about the US as a country? Because like you've grown up and you, of course, you've got like different perspectives with you. So what was different?
For the first time, I was very young, so you know everything was new, and you know it's like all sunshine and roses for you, you know. So I was just trying to live each day, you know. So um, yeah, for the first time, I really didn't think that deeply about, you know, my English or the country itself. But then the second time um, I went there as a mature adult, pretty much. And so I really feel like I saw the reality of of the US. Now I have met this one guy. He was an Uber driver, but he said he graduated UCLA but couldn't find any jobs and became an Uber driver. And I'm not trying to say that being an Uber driver is bad. It's just that, you know, the the steps that you have taken doesn't, you know, always work out. And I feel like that's the really the difficulty of living there.
Yeah. For people who don't know, like UCLA was the college he was going to.
Yeah.
And then actually the USA is pretty much like the gold standard in terms of the education in the US. So yeah, that was what he was saying. So I really wanted to ask this. The US and Japan, which do you like better? In terms of like anything you can.
That's a really
Or like,
really tough question. I feel like I'd say I might like the US better, low key. And that is because like well, I guess we might kind of touch on this later, but I feel like my personality really changes when I'm speaking English as to when I'm speaking Japanese. And I sometimes just feel like I like my English side better than my Japanese side. Yeah.
yeah. So you sort of like you can like live comfortably in the US.
Yeah, I feel like I'm way more social, I'm more outgoing. And yeah, I just feel like there's less pressure as to, you know, not in terms of like the cost or anything of living, but you know, just like living your life in general. There's much less pressure in the US as compared to Japan.
That's so true. So you sort of mentioned this, but do you feel your personality different? If different, how is it different? Like when speaking Japanese and English, you both like have a like native level of those languages. And for me, I feel the change just a little bit. To, as you said, like the outgoing social side of this. comes out when speaking English. So yeah, how about you? How about your shift in the personality?
Yeah, I feel like there is a personality shift, like 100%. And so when I'm speaking in Japanese, I feel like I'm much more respectful. I try to value, the elders, and I try to be as polite as I can. And when I'm speaking Japanese, as to when I'm speaking English, I'm like I mentioned, I'm way more outgoing. I'm more social, extroverted. I feel like also physical wise, I do more gestures, and my facial expressions also change a lot as compared to speaking Japanese. So I feel like I'm really trying to adapt to the stereotypical, the stereotype of the speakers of the language.
Right.
Is what I've been thinking recently.
Yeah, I agree with the reason about the shift in personality. I think it's because not just because of language. If you were to like learn English just in Japan with Japanese people, like I don't think you will get the English personality because you're talking to Japanese people. It's just because like the culture and the people you're talking to, and you sort of get something from them and kind of imitating, I would say. Yeah, I think they have a lot to do with each other. So the last question, I started off this podcast just yesterday, and this is a second day, and this is a second episode I'm recording. What was your like initial thought on that? Your friends suddenly like starting podcast, which is very like uncommon. Like
not very uncommon. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like when I first heard this idea, I really thought this was very interesting, I would say. Yeah, because personally speaking, I've also wanted to, express myself in some form, eventually, at some point in time. So, yeah, I feel like this is a really good way to, sort your thoughts out. This is being in the last year of college.
Yeah.
Being in the last year of college is really is a turning point in our lives.
Sure.
So yeah, I think it's really good to record your thoughts as a as a like a 作品. Yeah,
that's so true. I mean, you can join me. You can be the co-host of this podcast. I mean, yeah. Actually, like, I want to do some interviews to other like my friends, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like run out of the ideas if I'm just talking by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, podcast is tough. Like getting a lot of like ideas off. So yeah, you can just be the co-host.
I'm always down.
Yeah, glad to hear that. So yeah, this is the end of this recording. So how was it? This is obviously the first time for you to do this kind of interviews, recording. So, how was it?
I was pretty nervous at first, to be honest, but yeah, it was really it was a really good experience for me. I really had fun talking about myself because you really don't have the chance to do so, and it's this kind of funny, but it kind of reminded me of the shukatsu interviews. So yeah, but yeah, overall it was a really good time.
Yeah.
And I hope I can be back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I thought about this, like it's really like interview is like what we do a lot these days. Yeah, I wanted you to just like sit back and relax. It's not like job interviews. So yeah, but thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.